Welcome to the 2024 General Election Meet the Candidate Forum. My name is Lindsay Allen, and I am joined by Naomi Bouts. We will be your moderators for the 2024 Meet the Candidate series. This year's forum is sponsored by the Hagedon Media Group, Quicksilver Studios, and the Joint Public Policy Committee of the Coeur d'Alene Regional, Hayden, Post Falls, and Rathdrum Chambers of Commerce, in partnership with the Coeur d'Alene and Post Falls Press. This forum is intended to allow you, the voter, to hear from the candidates representing various Idaho State legislative and Kootenai County positions, who will share their vision and policies to help inform your vote. Candidates will be given 1 minute to introduce themselves, then asked 3 questions with 2 minutes to respond to each question. Candidates will be allowed 1 minute for their closing statements. These forums provide a unique opportunity to connect with the candidate who seek to serve our community. By meeting our candidates one-on-one in a more casual environment, we aim to better inform Kootenai County voters about each candidate's point of view. Okay, we are back with State Representative candidate and incumbent for District 3, Seat B, Jordan Redman. Welcome, Jordan.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you a minute to do an opening statement for our audience.
Perfect. All right. My name is Jordan Redman. I'm one of the current representatives in District 3. Born and raised here in North Idaho. Grew up out in Spirit Lake. My folks raised me. I was homeschooled, played sports with the local high school. My dad actually served for a couple terms in the legislature, so I kind of saw what he went through there. I married my high school sweetheart, Amy, about 19 years ago. We have 6 children, ages 12 down to 1. We currently homeschool them, but hopes that they'll play sports at one of the local high schools here. Work in business, work in the areas of financial services, healthcare, as well as real estate and land development. Love this community, been a big part of this community, working in the nonprofit world as well as just community engagement. This last term, I currently serve on health and welfare, the business committee, environment, energy, and technology, as well as the AI committee, the Medicaid review committee, and then JLOC, which is the Joint Oversight and Legislative Committee.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to get into our questions here.
Yeah.
And our first question is, as incumbent, what do you see as the key priorities for District 3 and how will you address them? You have 2 minutes.
Okay. I think there's a number of issues currently in our state and District 3 as well. One of the big issues I've seen personally in District 3 as well as around the state was the housing issues, right? And so last year I worked with some community members here, Maggie Lyons with the Panhandle Area Housing Alliance, as well as the Realtors Association, on some legislation to try to help with that a little bit, and not help with that with the government actually facilitating that, but just trying to deregulate and allow the free market to really do what the free market can do, right? In my opinion, the way to solve the issue with the missing middle or folks that have maybe grown up here but can't afford home ownership at this point is to create more inventory. And I think there's a lot of ways we can do that with just stoking the free market, deregulating, and I think that's the path forward, in my opinion. So I have 3 bills in draft format currently that I plan on running early January if I'm reelected.
Thank you. Okay, question number 2. Legislators often receive input from advocacy groups and organizations, as well as their constituents. How will you balance these perspectives when supporting or opposing legislation, and what steps will you take to ensure transparency for your constituents?
Yeah, I think anyone from my district or even the state of Idaho, if I receive an email, a phone call, text message, whatever it is, I think that takes priority. But I actually really appreciate the government affairs folks and the folks that bring information to you, because there's two sides to every issue, and I want to have all the knowledge I can to make a decision, an informed decision on those things. And with that, I think you have to understand that they're coming from a perspective where they want one side or the other. But I think when you meet with everyone, get all the information, it gives you the background to make a very educated decision, and one that hopefully serves the community, District 3 and the state of Idaho the best.
Okay, question 3. If Proposition 1 passes, will you support it or will you vote to repeal it?
So I'm currently working on the no side of Proposition 1. When House Bill 179 was ran my freshman year, I voted in favor of not allowing ranked choice voting. It's a difficult issue because I think it's actually two issues. The open primaries, I'm sure that's something I could come on board with. However, when you add the ranked choice element, I believe that's a very deceptive way of voting and can create a lot of controversy that doesn't allow the people to actually speak for what they really want. One example of that is I sit on the Joint Legislative Oversight Committee. This is 4 senators, 4 representatives, 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans from each body. Very bipartisan. That committee looks at oversight of different issues that should be taken up from the legislature. And as I'm sure you know, there's a number of different issues that come up. So we had about 12 different issues that come up, and this isn't something that we could take on as a body. So we wanted to rank them in order of 1 through 3. On that committee, when we went through that with the legislative staff, 3 members of the 8 didn't understand the ranking process, didn't vote correctly. And so their votes would have been cast out with ranked choice voting. And so I want every individual to have a voice and be able to speak for who they really want. And I believe that ranked choice voting does not allow for that. So that's why I would vote to repeal that.
Thank you. Okay, we are at our closing statement time. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to address our audience.
Perfect. Well, it's been an incredible honor to serve the people of District 3 and the state of Idaho these past 2 years. I joke often that my part-time job gets in the way of my full-time job because it is a lot of work and a lot of time and effort, but it's been very rewarding, and in my opinion, we've done a lot of good. I was able to sponsor 13 bills that were passed into law in my first 2 years, and I think that there's a lot more good work that can happen, and I would really appreciate the opportunity to serve District 3 in the state for another term. Thanks.
Thank you, Jordan.
Yeah.
On behalf of the Joint Public Policy Committees representing the Coeur d'Alene Regional, Hayden, and Post Falls and Rathdrum Chambers of Commerce, in partnership with the Hagadon Media Group and Coeur d'Alene Post Falls Press, Lindsay and I thank all candidates for participating. I would also like to thank the production team members at the Quicksilver Studios, the Hagadon Media Group, and the Coeur d'Alene Press. And of course, thank you to those who have taken the time to learn more about each of the candidates featured in this year's Meet the Candidate series. This series has made it possible to hear from 23 Kootenai County local race candidates. We sincerely thank candidates who took the time to discuss what is important to voters in Kootenai County. We hope this town hall forum has helped inform those still uncertain about whom they will cast a final ballot for in the coming weeks. Please remember to vote. It's one of the most significant rights and responsibilities as Americans. The fundamental message this year is cast informed votes. Thank you.